So we had a good weekend.
Yeah.
It was a good weekend. We got a lot of stuff done.
We did. So we met the Easter Bunny.
Yeah, Easter Bunny's, you know, we ran over, stopped by his place. Had a good talk with him. I mean, at least you did. You had a good talk with him. You're okay. You're
Yeah.
You should only
Okay,
have
cool.
one of these.
No, we have
Alright,
two
see ya.
because we want it to be hot.
All right, thank you.
It's all right. It's
Are you
too
good?
hot, maybe.
So what all did we do this weekend? We did. No, we didn't
no.
do that.
No,
this
we
time.
went motorcycle ride. That's what we
Ah, that was a good ride.
did. That was a good ride. Yeah.
Let's see, what did
Yeah.
we do? So we were testing out the
Big bikes.
you
All
know,
bikes.
testing out the motorcycles. And talking about the seatbelt law they're trying to
And
institute.
helmet law.
Yeah.
Not helmet law.
No,
Oh
they
yeah,
don't.
seatbelt.
No helmet law in Pennsylvania, but
No.
for some reason they're trying to put seatbelts on motorcycles.
Seatbelts on motorcycles. Can you believe that?
I can.
Oh, me too.
That's crazy.
Would you
Why?
really want to have a seatbelt on if you wreck?
That would be weird.
That would be
there-
That's what we
it's-
thought.
If they turn a motorcycle into a box, it would just be like a car with two wheels.
That's
Yeah.
right. It
Wouldn't
would be
it?
a box with two wheels.
Essentially. But if I wreck my bike, I want to be away from it. I don't want to be attached and strapped to it.
Yeah. Me either. So the motorcycle ride was good. We
Oh, and then so this guy that I met the other day had all these bikes on his trailer.
and where did you meet him?
Well, actually, I didn't even see him. I just saw a trailer full of bikes.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I bet you those are going to the dump, and I want them.
Yeah.
Because I was telling you about, like, wanting to do tall bikes, and it just seemed kind of wrong to buy beach cruisers and then
Right.
cut them apart since there's so much throwaway stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I turn around, and I'm like, I'm putting a note on this guy's car. And I wrote a note that said, if you're taking these to the dump, if you're taking these bikes to the dump, I want them. Or, no. If you're taking these bikes to the dump, can I have them? I need them for an art project. And as I was signing my name, he walked up to the van and got in and started his car. And I was like, oh, sir, excuse me. I was like, are you taking those bikes to the dump? And he like looked at me like, no.
No.
He was like, these bikes are spoken for.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I actually pulled them out of the dump. And I was like, what? and I was like, dude, like, you gotta tell me the story. He's like, oh, I've shipped hundreds of bikes to Malawi.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, that's amazing. What's the story? And he was just like, everything in America is throwaway. And I was like, don't even get me started.
Yeah.
Like, don't
Yeah.
even get. So he collects bikes and fixes them up. And most of the time, they don't even need fixed up. They're just
Right.
throwaway bikes.
Well, I mean, the bikes that he dropped here were perfect.
Yeah,
You know?
it's like they need air in the tires, you know.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, can I buy some bikes from you? Because he's like, I have like 100 at my house right now.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, and he's like, I'll just sell them. I sell them for like $5 a piece.
Oh,
like
wow.
if I'm selling them to anyone.
Yeah.
I was like, perfect. I need 4. And so then he calls me the next day and he's like, I'm on my way. I got 6 bikes for you. So he shows up at my house and he has 6 bikes and
Uh-huh.
and he's like, I just want to give them to you.
Oh.
And so the guy was like super cool. And like I was telling you, I was like, yeah, I'm making these tall bikes, which is what we did. That's what that was leading into, then actually doing that, which I'll let you tell that. But yeah, when they were all said and done, and I sent him the picture with the light, he was like, the first thing he was just like, wait, does that light work? Like, because it was a generator light that
Yeah.
spins off the wheel.
Yeah. I can't believe that we found that. I mean, it was perfect.
Yeah, and the fact that works just like that made my.
It's got to be 20 years old. It has to be
at
20 years
least,
old.
at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah.
So what did you think about the tall bikes?
Well, I mean, it was awesome. They, like you've been talking about the tall bikes for months now, and I knew what you were talking about. I just wasn't really sure, I guess, what the experience was going to be like. So, I mean, it was not that difficult to build them. Moderately, I would give it a 5 out of 10 build. 50% difficulty
Yeah.
for other people that are that's not their day job.
Yeah, but you
know?
already know how to weld and grind and cut.
Well, for me,
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, if other people wanted to make them, it would
Yeah.
be like what, 50% moderately difficult for them.
It would be a good experience to learn how to use a grinder
Absolutely.
and a flap wheel,
Yeah.
cut off wheel, and honestly to weld, because
Yeah.
it's not like you're getting on this bike and trusting your life to the weld. So
Yeah. Well, somewhat, but
now people do that with motorcycles, which is scary.
That is scary. Yeah, that is scary. But I mean, I think the experience of it riding it was pretty cool because you actually feel like you're on a rail. I guess you're like on a roller coaster, but in control of the roller coaster. So I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then from there, so then we went in and then we met the Easter Bunny that night.
Yes.
Saturday night.
Yeah.
And then Sunday basically consisted of us finishing the tall bikes and then meeting your friend, right?
Yeah. So my friend Nate was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have a meeting with you guys or whatever," and he's a producer and he's cool, and we haven't seen each other in a long time, and then and I'm just like, "Yeah, we're just going for a meeting." And then we show up.
I know, like you just like the most amount of information that you gave me was, we're going with a meeting, or we're going to a meeting to meet this guy, Nate, who is a producer, who puts on TV shows. That's it.
Yeah.
But then when we show up, it's a lot more than that. So,
cold?
Which we are not allowed to talk about. We signed our life aways to say that we won't talk about what the show actually was.
Yeah, we can't talk about the concept, but you can definitely talk
Yeah.
about Rigsby and what his whole deal.
So getting to meet Dr. Rigsby, Rick Rigsby, or how we like to refer to him as Rick,
Rick.
I mean, I think it was amazing. It was absolutely unexpected. We did not have any intentions of doing anything or coming up with anything, and I think it kind of worked out.
It did, and they didn't know they didn't know anything about us.
No, nothing.
And they set us down, and anyone that might actually watch this, if you YouTube third grade dropout,
Yeah.
third grade dropout, because the actual speech, I guess it was a commencement speech at a college.
I think so.
It was like some business school, I think.
When I looked at when I was looking at it on YouTube, I think there was he's done that speech a couple different times,
Yeah.
the motivational speech.
Yeah.
And, like the most important lesson I learned, or the best thing that I ever learned, was from a third grade dropout, which was kind of amazing because we actually watched that YouTube video before we walked in there.
Yeah.
And then met him,
Yeah.
and then our personalities just kind of clicked. Dude, do you want to get out, man?
I'm really hot.
You
Okay,
definitely
get out.
can. You definitely can.
I'm gonna need a little break with this.
All right.
Yeah.
Your clothes are in the house.
You want to get out too? Huh?
I'm just
You're
gonna
careful.
break
Here, stand up. Stand up.
There we go.
Oh.
Yeah. So getting to meet Dr. Rigsby, I think, was pretty amazing. It was pretty inspiring. Actually, just kind of being in his presence was pretty inspiring.
Well, you can tell that the guy is just pumped.
Yeah.
You know
all
what
the
I
time.
mean?
Like,
All the time.
He's full mark.
Yeah. Full mark.
Yeah. But he is full on all the time, like ready to talk, ready to motivate, ready to
Yeah.
inspire. I don't even know if I could. I love inspiring and motivating people. I don't know if I could do that 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and essentially he turned it into a business, which is fine because, if he's speaking to a business school
Yeah.
or whatever,
Yeah.
they want people coming out of the ranks to have a purpose. But it applies to every person, every circumstance of
Right.
life.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't matter whether it's business, it doesn't matter whether it's, military or just a kid, that had crappy upbringing. I mean, it's just good to meet people like that, and it's good to know that people like that still exist.
Absolutely. Yeah.
He's a more charismatic version of Matt Foley, you know.
Yeah.
Van Down by the River.
Yeah.
Like, he is that guy
Yeah.
in real life, except he's African American and more charisma, and it's just, yeah, it's like the reincarnation of that skit. You know?
It really is. Yeah. I mean, you know, and I think also that he's just real. He's just a real human being.
He definitely is.
And
yeah.
he connects to people, and like he connected to us in just a real way.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So absolutely amazing. I mean, probably a once in a lifetime opportunity to get to meet somebody that, you know, because I mean, he seriously.
Got you saying it. That's awesome.
He seriously just went viral.
Yeah.
He just went viral.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
What was it when you guys looked it up? With
It's
his
close to.
Handler.
Oh yeah, it was close to 300 million.
300 million.
Yeah,
people.
the YouTube has 3 million views, which obviously is a lot. But the way stuff goes viral nowadays, it's not even really YouTube anymore. It's like that embedded sharing videos in like Facebook and stuff.
Yep.
And I found those videos, and they were like, one was like 200 million, another one was 70 million. And
It's
like,
absolutely insane.
obviously we don't care about numbers. But if
Right.
something gets hundreds of millions of views,
Yeah.
and it's a positive message, it's like, I want to meet that guy.
It's
You know?
absolutely, and I think it's incredible. It was an incredible opportunity,
Yeah.
and we kind of fell right into it, so it was good.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want to pursue that guy to meet him.
No,
Like, hey, can
no.
we try to get a meeting with
That would-
Rick?
I don't think it would ever happen.
It would be weird
Yeah.
and creepy.
It would be kind of creepy.
You know, and then he knew that we, like, hey, dude, I don't know anything about you, so like
Mhm.
we just watched a little bit of the video before we came in, and
Yeah.
I think he probably appreciates that because
Yeah.
you know he's more or less a celebrity in the circle he rolls with, you
Right.
know, so
Right.
and yeah, that was cool, man.
So then what? Come back. We came back from that, and then ate dinner. Oh, and then we sang songs. We did a bunch of
We
songs.
did sing songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that brought us to today. End of our little 2.4 days long jaunt.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the kids had fun. They definitely.
The kids definitely had fun. I don't know if Steph did, because she's trying to get studying done in the midst of all this chaos.
Yeah, I
but,
definitely don't think she was having a lot of fun.
but she dealt with us, you know, and she's a trooper. And
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
What do you think this water temperature is?
It's about 110.
You think?
Yeah, because when it
Yeah.
starts feeling like I'm too hot,
Yeah.
that's over 105.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it is definitely hot.
You know that feeling?
Yeah.
Where you're like, this is kind of too hot.
Yeah.
It's 105 or higher. It's between 105 and 110.
Yeah.
What do you think about the wood-fired hot tub?
I mean, it's genius. I mean, I think it is definitely fuel efficient. Well, I don't know about fuel efficient, but but it's definitely we're not consuming any resources besides wood. And the water that's in it. So.
Well, and the thing I like about it is we're in a hot tub and it's awesome. But then when you think about real hot tubs, they have all that chemical stuff in it.
Yeah.
So when you get out, you have that weird throaty, like when you're breathing.
Yep.
It's like that chlorine breath.
Yeah.
Which I hate.
I think I knew somebody that got herpes one time from a hot tub.
I don't doubt it because if you're not on top of your alkaline and chlorine levels, it can get weird, and then you get that scum.
Yeah.
And
it's so
you're trying to keep this amount of water, about 4 times this amount of water. You're just trying to keep it clean.
Right.
But see, when we're done with this, we could bathe in it and then drain it. Like, this is a bathtub, and you're doing this thing up with the outdoors stuff, and with the store that services the hikers.
Yeah, seriously.
And that's what, when I saw this thing, because I didn't invent this, but I always take ideas and try to improve them, or I just, if I want something that I'm not going to buy it and I know I can build it, I build a prototype,
well,
make
if
it
you
better.
Can build it, why don't you do it yourself? Yeah.
But in that scenario, man, they would love it, because you have hikers that are that have been hiking for potentially weeks or months.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like you're getting in a hot tub anytime.
Right.
So then they stop over at your store. They can buy supplies. They can get a shower. They can, of course, rest, recoup, and then they can get in this hot tub. And I know that when they get in there, they're gonna just have the biggest smile on their face.
Oh, I mean, can you imagine walking halfway up the United States? Because that's about halfway, and then not having any kind of resource like a shower or like just any kind of cleanliness facilities along that whole entire stretch, and then getting there and then being able to get into something like this.
Yeah.
It'd be amazing. I mean,
I think it'd be
oh, you know what I forgot about? We went skating.
Oh yeah, Dylan.
Ah,
Dylan.
Dylan.
Yep. Yeah. We, kind of the vibe of what we're doing is interviewing people that are interesting, that are passionate about whatever they're passionate about, and roller skating is got a subculture that I don't really know about.
I don't understand it either.
But skating is fun, so I could see how if you really turn in that direction, but it becomes more of a hobby.
It's more than a hobby.
It can be it's where your friends are at.
Yep.
And honestly, I was thinking about Dylan and the clubs and all the kids who hang out there. I was like, you know what? As opposed to them sitting at home on their phones,
it's amazing.
It's actually really good.
Yeah.
Like props to Dylan, and props to them being like, no, I don't care if anyone doesn't like this or doesn't think it's cool. It's fun.
Yeah.
And the best thing he said was, for me, it's a release.
Well, I think my favorite thing that he said was, since I was born. Since I was born, my parents had been coming to this skating rink. So, it's not something that he picked up along the way.
No.
It was
already...
It was ingrained.
Born and bred.
Yeah, ingrained into his DNA.
Yeah.
Like, his parents were... there. I think he said his parents met at the skating rink.
I hope so.
I hope so,
I
too.
certainly hope so.
No,
actually, my favorite saying was, "I don't practice. I just go for it."
Yeah.
That was it, right?
I don't practice. I just go for it.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, he's very committed, very passionate.
Yep.
He's an amazing individual.
More power to him.
Great, a great mind. And you had the lucky convenience to get to skate with him, but I had the lucky convenience to get to, film him for, extra footage, B-roll footage, and all that other stuff. So I got to talk to him a lot, just talking to him off. So, I mean, he's a great kid. It's going to be, hey, I wish him the best of luck.
He's going to do just fine, honestly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if kids nowadays all had something like that, and so, because everyone has their own problems and circumstances, whether they have crappy parents or, just a broken home or just things that just add that stress that shouldn't be there for a kid.
Yeah.
And then he said that it's a release for him.
Right.
And I said,
his drug.
for me, it's motorcycles. When you get out on that open road, I mean, there is something awesome about that.
Yeah.
So that kid, how old was he? 14?
No,
so
he was older than that, I think.
He definitely wasn't older than 16.
I don't know.
I don't think he drove.
I don't know.
No, he worked. No, I bet you he was 15.
He's got to be at least 15.
Yeah, but anyways, he's not riding a motorcycle.
Right.
But he latched on to skating, and that's his release.
Yeah.
And I really like that.
No, it was great. It was a great interview. We spent 2 hours at the roller skating rink with all the kids.
Yep.
And getting to talk to. Oh well, and we also talked to Chad and Wendy. We talked to Owen.
Yep.
We talked to Owen.
Yep.
All amazing people who we didn't get a lot of good footage out of it, probably to do a full interview. But the conversation that we had with Chad and Wendy,
that was great.
Was really amazing. And that the fact that they do it as a family, they come there, they spend time together, not connected to a device, not a device in front of their face, and roller skating with their kids, which was amazing.
Well, what else can you do? Let's say in the winter with your family.
Well, it's
I mean,
indoors,
honestly,
it's heated,
what are other options?
Skiing, but I mean But besides, and then one thing, because we asked him, he bought his own skates. They all bought their own skates to make it even less expensive.
Yeah.
And, it's a heated building. It's indoors. It's, it's probably financially efficient for them to do that on a regular basis.
Well, it's only a few bucks. It's essentially like going out to get pizza.
Yeah.
Except you're getting exercise, you know, and I actually told Steph, like, I want to start doing that.
Yeah, I heard you say that.
I'm serious. I mean, because the kids all love it, and it is good exercise, and because, you know, in the wintertime, we do start going into, like, cabin fever mode.
Yeah.
And you're just, like, watching Netflix, or it's dark all the time, and, you know, there's not any other options. Like, you're not going to go to the mall every weekend and walk around, because that's lame. You can. It costs me $100 to go to the movies.
Oh, I
$100 bucks.
I don't go anymore.
$100.
Yeah, I don't care.
So that's not an option.
Yeah.
Skating, dude. I think I'm gonna get my own skates.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna get like some skates and I'm gonna customize them.
Well, when I was looking up Owen, he was selling skates on Facebook.
I'm buying them from him.
So,
I'm definitely
buying
good used skates that because, you know, like, he knows which are he's like,
right.
you know.
Yeah.
So
you know, we went up to every single person probably there, and not one person turned us away or didn't want to talk to us. So
plus we didn't get kicked out.
Well, that's true.
Nor did we even get yelled at.
Yeah.
And we were doing questionable stuff. You know?
I mean, like skating around with a piece of the camera equipment that potentially could have smashed into the ground and broke into a million pieces and caused a pile up. Eight-person pile.
Yeah.
You know,
or just Dylan going full speed with me holding on to him. You know, because I almost
so
wiped. Like, when he rounded the corner, it's kind of like a wakeboard, or it's kind of like a tube when the boat turns.
Yeah, you're
and it just
whipped.
starts going Mach 5.
Yeah,
I almost wiped. Could have easily taken out a little kid. But you know, we're
I did wipe out, and you know,
Yeah.
I smashed my knee pretty bad. I mean, it was serious.
Yeah.
Seriously, you know, that wood is not forgiving.
Yeah.
That wood is not forgiving.
Yeah. As dumb as it looks, you know, when we're doing stuff, whether it's the tall bikes or skating kind of a little bit wildly, we're not just idiots about it.
Right.
Like, I'll jump over a little kid to avoid hitting them and
right,
smash my head into the wall.
I will
you know?
put myself in danger before I put somebody else in danger.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Right. All right. Well, great weekend, I think. So, you know, like, I mean, I think we have everything situated. Everything's good. We've got a lot of stuff going on. We got some stuff coming up in the future here. We got some great ideas.
Yeah, it was a good weekend, man.
Yeah.
John versus John.
Cool. Gary, you've been under there the entire time?
It's like a new record.
That is a new record, dude.
What's up?
You've been under there the entire time?
Yeah, really. What? How long was that?
It was got to be at least like 15 minutes, 20 minutes maybe. How do you do that? You were really good.
Dude, that was sick.
That was awesome, dude.
All right. See you guys later.
Yeah.
See ya, dude.
So yeah, man, good weekend.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it was, we got a lot accomplished. You know, like I said, we have a lot of ideas coming up. Things are going well.
Yeah, it was good times.
Yeah.
Good times.
John versus John, man.
John versus John.